Hello, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday the 16th, so we are now halfway through the month, as scary as that is. And it just feels like it's gone by in a whirlwind, and I don't know where time goes besides some random vortex. I'm not real sure where or how it already got to be the 16th, but it is. So I'm currently pulling the cards for today. So, okay, so we have the Otter Spirit, and then the first card I pulled was the Tower. So, you are never alone is the message from the Otter. And then you have the breakdown of some sort of construct, whether it is an abstract construct or like an organization or something, the breakdown of that so that you can build something better in its place because it is no longer serving. So those are the main messages for today. The other two cards, in case you're interested, are the Six of Cups inverted. So it's like a little tea party going on. And then the Ten of Swords. So both gorgeous cards, but the main message is you are never alone. You have friends to go along with you. You can always reach out, especially if you need help and assistance breaking down whatever it is that you need to break down so you can build better. So those are cards that go pretty well together, actually. So what are you drinking today? What are you hydrating with? And what are your characters hydrating with? Because as the hashtag on the thumbnail, this week I wanted to focus on making sure that my characters have bodily functions, which means they got to eat, they got to drink, they're going to have to sleep at some point. They will have different ailments, so they're going to get sick at some point if that's a part of the sick, or injured if that is part of the plot line and whatnot. So making the characters more believable by making sure that they have bodily functions. So that is what the thumbnail and hashtag is for, Katja. I have water. And my character in Project Gray, I have made sure that he has they pack dried rations and things for when they're camping out. So, and they also have they're going to be hunting, fishing, etc., etc. Got to dig a latrine because that's part of their camping survival skill task things. So I've got that covered for that section of the story. For this paranormal romance, I have sort of like a cafeteria in the den where the kids are going, and if they're extra sweet, then the cooks will give them an extra cookie or something. If they get punished for something, their punishment will be to help wash the dishes, but really it's not a huge deal because then they'll get a cookie or something from the cooks. So I'm making sure that I have bodily functions as well as it building the atmosphere or suiting the atmosphere. So that's kind of what I'm doing on and off. And so I'll be switching between documents. And then when I get tired of that, or when I can't think of anything more to add to the scenes, then I will be switching over to the Anatomy of Prose, reading that and doing some of the exercises. So that's my goal plan for the day, is working on making sure that my characters have bodily functions that support the story and the atmosphere, as well as reading the Anatomy of Prose. So those two things. So Rosalind, hello. Good morning, afternoon / evening. Yes, exactly. And Laura says, I'm going to be drinking in some Z's. Lunch nap, here I come. Very nice. Clutch says, I don't know what I'm doing today. Well, you could always start by pulling up whatever your most recent document is and seeing if that is done or if it needs more. Becca says, I love the otter card. Isn't it just so cute? They're holding hands and they're so lovely. So cute. I love them. I love the whole deck. It's great. Laura says, I'm watching more of the N.K. Jemisin Masterclass tonight. I'm so glad that Becca, Shay, and Kate did that review. And you could see the different things that everybody took away. It was great. I loved that. And it just, I mean, like I already knew that I would want to take it at some point just because the trailer is so good. But just seeing how much everybody gleaned from the course was fantastic. So yes, I wholeheartedly approve of this. So Mallory says, hello, welcome. How are you? I'm hoping you're doing well, and I hope you have something to either work on or be productive with today. Or if you feel like dawdling, that's fine too. Becca says to Laura, the class was amazing. I learned so much. Yes. And I really like one of my takeaways from your video that I think I commented, yes, I did, about was I hadn't thought about the hemispheres impacting fantasy maps, because you were right. You normally see the map of like a continent and it's very flat and they don't necessarily indicate whether it's northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, straddling the equator, or any of that. So I hadn't thought about that. It's like, oh, brain fart. How did I miss that? Mallory says, hello, how is everybody doing? And Katja is drinking coffee. Your characters are probably drinking something, but as they are eating right now. Gotcha. And I mean, it's not necessarily like you always have to put in exactly what they're drinking. It's just like, are they going to eat in the span of your entire novel? Like, it's got to happen at some point. Diana says, hello, welcome. Mallory says, I've got coffee and my main character is drinking water and wolfing down a Burger King burger. She's 17 and on her way to a football game. Nice. That fits perfectly then. Clutch says, I only do one book at a time, so you only have one option. Ah, okay. And Alexis, hello. You are working on your notebooks. Do you have workbooks that you are filling in, or are you creating notebooks to sell, or are you doing like morning pages, stream of consciousness? What kind of notebooks are you referring to? I'm always curious because I love notebooks and I just do all kinds of things in them. So Clutch says, write or don't write. Clutch says, I got a lot of hemisphere stuff in your fantasy novel. The further north they went, the hotter it got. And they were very much in the South. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, there are some things that like you obviously know in the like back of your hind brain. And some of it comes out subconsciously. But if you are much more cognizant of it, then you can get a lot more fitting details in there. And it was just like light bulb turning on. I was like, oh. Yeah, it's like it seems really obvious, but we're just so used to seeing fantasy maps as these beautiful old-timey maps, but never anything with hemispheres. Yeah, exactly. Petra says, hello. You're going to be making mood boards today. Ooh, how many mood boards and what for, if you care to tell us? And Alexa says, it's to organize my life. Those help too, for sure. Those are a necessity. All right. So would you like a 15-minute warm-up or a 20-minute warm-up? I am allowing this one to be sort of up for grabs as to those two those two time lengths, 15 or a 20-minute warm-up. So I do need a warm-up to get some of my own life notebook gotten together, but then I also, that won't take me all that long. So Becca votes 20. You're editing a video, so it's a little bit longer is nice. Alrighty, sounds good. We can do that. Share the audio. Here we go. All right, so this is going to be Laura Nettles' Paint and Water Timer. And it's very gorgeous. It is mute, or it has no sound except for the bells at the end, so you can rock out to your own music should you wish to. Alexis also voted for 20, and Petra says, hoping to get through at least 3 for your main trio of your current urban fantasy work in progress. Excellent. Mallory's going to be taking it easy today since you've done so much lately, writing some, but also just finding music that makes you feel like you're a teenager again, so it could be research. Gotcha. Alrighty. So, first sprint, make sure that you save your document, or if you haven't pulled it up yet, go ahead and do so. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with. 3, straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for a posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Those are your reminders, and we can now get started with a 20-minute warm-up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right. How'd we do? I got 2 pages in my little composition notebook. Scribbled 2 and a little, but I'm kind of using a large, I want to say font because font's not the right word, but I am writing larger than I would normally because this is a wide ruled notebook. So that tends to affect how large my writing is, whether or not I'm writing in wide ruled or college ruled or something narrower than that even. So yeah, so progress. Wrote a couple things in my planner. That kind of stuff. So slightly productive. I got some handwriting done, so that's good. I can't really give an estimate because I haven't really counted any of the words in this notebook to give myself an average for page length yet, but progress. So, okay, let's see. Charlie is here. Hello. Welcome. Yay. And Alexis says hello as well. And Charlie says, I had a hard time getting yourself back up in your office after working out of the living room for the last couple of days. And today you are looking for focus. Well, I hope that we can help you with that. It's difficult sometimes when you take a break, whether you intended to or not, or you change your environment and your routine, and then you try and go back to the old routine. Things feel off for a while. So yeah, I definitely understand that. CB says, hello, sorry I'm a little late, but here you are now. Excellent, welcome. And writer Sam Wicker is here. Hello, welcome. And Becca says, I got a lot edited for the video. I may even finish it the next sprint. Yay! That's awesome. I have got to learn how to edit videos a lot faster because I think that's the main part of why I don't do as many of those, because I'm not as quick at editing, or even because when I'm filming, I tend to ramble on and use filler words and things like that. And then I have more to cut and edit because I'm not used to filming and editing. So it's a struggle. It always takes me about, I would say for like a 10 to 15 minute video, I film quite a bit and then I have to edit for what feels like at least a solid 4 hours to get things the way I want. And that's just too much time to edit. That's a lot of time to edit a single video that's that short. Rosalind says, I ate saltines with Swiss and salami. Ooh, 0 words. You can't actually write and eat cheese and crackers at the same time. Well, if they're bite-sized, yes, but you have to prep them ahead of time. But yes, I understand. Focusing on the food is also very good. So Mallory says, I got a couple of paragraphs written, but I've forgotten how good music was back in the early 2000s. Yeah, and that's, I think I read somewhere that the music that we hear in our middle and high school will always be mainly in high school, will always be our favorite music. So Yazza says, hello, welcome. Alexa says, I watched some inspiration for your notebooks and binders. Excellent. I've tried a couple different things with my planner, notebook, etc., and I always find myself, watching other people's videos on how they set things up. And so there's a couple of things that I just don't bother to include that other people think are extremely helpful. So for me, mood trackers are just a waste of time. For other people, they are extremely helpful. Some people track sleep if they are, and the ones I've seen who track sleep are also usually tracking like productivity for a project, and so sometimes their sleep levels affect the project that they're doing. But I've also seen people track sleep when they are when they have insomnia or sleep apnea or something like that, a condition that would affect their sleep and therefore how they feel later. I've seen some people make more like to-do lists or just like bullet lists, very minimal-esque. And I've seen some people who use their notebooks as more like therapy and stuff. I've seen, I think it was Sarah Canon from Heart Breathings, who created a list for moving for like what to do in the weeks leading up. So she had and I've seen some people do that digitally as well. Like you have a timeline before you're supposed to move. And so you break the tasks down into like, okay, we have, 6 weeks before the movers are coming. So each of these 6 weeks is going to have tasks, et cetera, et cetera. So YouTube is definitely extremely helpful. And in some regards, Instagram as well, because then you can search with the hashtags. I don't find Pinterest as helpful. So Devin says, howdy. Writer Sandwicker says, setting up to record a video or two and try to get a little ahead. Excellent. Y'all are being very productive then. Charlie says, I'm working on the character profiles for the Hollow family. Davina. So you used Calante's name. Nice. I like it. And an unnamed brother. Davina is your Sherlock. Calante is your Holmes. And their brother takes care of the house. Ooh, nice. Kai says, hey, I was looking forward to the stream, but accidentally fell asleep. That happens. Petra says, I gathered some good images together. Pinterest is making me really search for them. Yeah, Pinterest, I struggle. I struggle. Writer Sam Wicker says, is the underlying mystery for the book the brother's name? Like the siblings have forgotten his true name. And then there's lots of sugar in this tea, so ideas kind of, yeah, I get this feeling too. So CB says, I made curry sauce from scratch. Ooh, because the one you had in the freezer wasn't very good. Rosalind says, say a prayer for Sarah's house/contractor. Oh, did I miss something? Is something happening with the house contractor? I think I missed. I don't think I have figured out. Was that in Friday's coffee chat? Because I missed that one. But yeah, and so I don't know what's going on, but yes. So Kai says, homemade curry sauce is amazing. And you make it all the time and pour it over noodles when you don't want to cook. You're having rice with it and you added cashews. Nice. Sounds lovely. All right, let's do another sprinty sprint. Share the screen. All right, 25 minutes. So don't forget, the second sprint is the self-promo sprint. So if you would like to promote your anything from your online presence or in real life, I suppose too, social media, websites, YouTube channels, author page on Amazon, etc., new videos coming out or videos that just have come out, blog posts, whatever it is that you want to self-promote about, please take the chance to do that during this next sprint. And also save your document Make sure you're drinking something. Straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for a posture check, and make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Those are your reminders. We can now get started. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right, that was a 25-minute sprint. And how'd we do? Are you enjoying the day and the sprinting time? Trying to find the, there we go. So I finished the notes that I was taking in my little notebook for making sure my characters have bodily functions, things that I need to add into scenes that are already in existence or partially written. So I've added that list, finished that list for what I can think of for right now. And then I've started reading some more in the Anatomy of Prose. And one of the things that Sacha Black, the author of Anatomy of Prose, talks about is actively when you are reading, the first time through, a lot of times we read unconsciously. We lose ourselves in the stories. But that if we want to make progress with our writing style, our writing choices, things like that, we need to be reading consciously. And so whenever we find a passage or a sentence that we are impressed by, or that we laughed out loud because the insult was great, or things like that, she tends to make a note of it. She annotates the book if she is feeling like that. She uses sticky notes if she doesn't want to write in the book a whole lot. And she has also started compiling them digitally. And so she makes a brief mention of just like the things that she takes note of. And so I just as a quick thing, it sounds like she does it more in like a document, and just like sort of does a citation at the end with the author name, book title, and page number. But I think in some ways it would be, she doesn't say she makes a spreadsheet, but in some ways it might be easier to make a spreadsheet. And so I just did. It's like, I don't have anything in it yet, but so I just created just a regular Excel sheet. You could do this in Google Sheets as well. But so you have a place for the sentence or the passage, place for the author name. I suspect you would want to put the whole author name. So whether or not you would want to split this into last, comma, first, or split this, just have the author's last name, however you want to do it, what the book title is, page number. And then she doesn't say that she initially notes down the reason, but I think it would be good if you are coming back to this at the end of a large tome, or you are reading everything that a particular author has read. There will be multiple books by them, and you would want to kind of take a note of why you were highlighting that passage or text. So I put a little space for a reason. So this took less than a minute to set up, honestly. And then I remembered how to freeze the top row so that once I get down to like, say 100 notes or so, like this top row will come down with it, essentially. So I always know which column I'm typing in. So yeah, so I just did that real quick. And then I'm currently using the Kindle app to read it. And so I've been highlighting things in their little notebook, and it has the page number and whatnot on it. So I will probably just transfer those notes over into this spreadsheet once I get done with it. So that's just what I've been doing, is reading some more and taking in the advice from Sacha Black in the Anatomy of Prose. So yeah. Okay, let's check out your self promos. What did you promote for yourself today? Please make sure you do so if you have not done so yet. Okay, so Charlie's Mysteries the idea started as a murder she wrote with witches, and it has grown from there. So Davina is a spellbook writer who solves mysteries. Just every time I hear about this, it just sounds more and more amazing. So I'm super excited about it. CB says, I have 10 one-shots on Archive of Our Own under the name Pepperoni Fan 1982. Excellent. And Project Spider is a work in progress. Yes. And Devin says, my things. Here's the Linktree link. And then the playlist for more live streams. Hooray! And then I think my internet blipped for a second, or the stream blipped. But Alexis says no, so hopefully everything was fine. I did pop open the Sarah Cannon's coffee chat from Friday, and she kind of was alluding to something going on with the house. And I think that's what Rose Lynn was mentioning. So I was trying to catch up on that, which sometimes if you're playing two videos, I guess the timer and Sarah Cannon's stream, as well as me trying to stream, might have overloaded my internet just a wee bit. So, yeah. Charlie says, come right with me today at 5 p.m. Eastern. And there is the link for that. Hooray! It is a Wednesday. There's a stream on Charlie's channel. And my Atlantic teacher life says, good afternoon. I'm working on my world fantasy map through Incarnate and having a lot of fun with it. Excellent. Hooray. I love making maps, even though I'm not really good at them yet. I will get better, but Megan says, have you checked out the authortube chronic illness and disability tag? Here's the playlist. Yes, Megan started the tag and is making a playlist. So make sure that if you are making a video, you either comment on the original so that Megan can find it, or make sure that you DM Megan over on Instagram, maybe, or Discord. I don't know. Where is your preferred contact method, Megan, for having people? I think you mentioned commenting under the original tag video, so I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. And Megan says also, hello. And writer Sam Wicker is actually working on that tag now. Hooray! That's exciting. I'm so excited to see all the different videos that are for this tag. I know that Charlie did one, and I watched that last night. Was it last night? I think it was last night. And it's always, I think, enlightening to see everybody's perspective on it, as well as I love the healthy coping mechanisms question. It's great. And just kind of hearing everybody's side is nice. So Alexis says, you are good and doing some crafting. Excellent. Yes, so excited to see Sam's. Definitely. And Kai says, I did some Korean homework and prepared dinner. You are going to work on your novel for the next sprint. Hooray! And Diana says, I got all the prep work done for soup. Yay! Now you can write for the next hour. Excellent. Hey, Eve. Hello. Late as always, but you're working on your paper resubmission now that you have your expert feedback. Excellent. Yay. CB says, still eating dinner and fighting off a meltdown. Oh, no. Piping hot mess. It happens. Well, hopefully you can fight off this meltdown, and hopefully the dinner will help. So, Hey Eve says, also, spreadsheets are way easier for that style of note-taking. You use it when reviewing multiple articles for one common assignment. The like button is lonely. Oh, no. Instagram is a great way to contact you, or just commenting on the original video. Yeah. Okay. For sure. Charlie says, Names and I are having a fight. You will find the brother's name and then to name the parents. Oh, yes. The eternal battle of naming characters, for sure. And that's one of the reasons why I started a couple of like name sheets in here. Names that I like, their meanings, and like culture of origin, that kind of stuff. And then I oftentimes just like forget that it's there and then go to like baby name generators. So, yeah, fun times. All right, let's do another sprint. Are y'all interested in another 25 or a 30? What would you prefer? Because it's 2:18, probably be about 20 when we start. So if we do a 25, that would take us to about 45. So we might have time for a 10-minute sprint. If we do a 30-minute sprint, that would take us to 2:50, which would only leave us like maybe a 5-minute sprint at the end. Hey, Eve votes for 25. All right. Sounds good. All right, share the screen. Going to be using one of HK Darkwood's newer timers, the Dune 1. All right. Don't forget to save. Don't forget to hydrate. I'm going to have to go refill my water glass. 3, make sure that you straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for a posture check. And 4, remember that if you need a break, take a break. Those are your reminders, and we can now get started. 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right. That was the end of the third sprint. How'd we do? I've been reading some more of the Anatomy of Prose. Also went and grabbed more water, and my mom was reading a book, and so I just, as I passed her, I'm like, "Is it a good book?" And she goes, "Well, it's interesting, I guess." I'm like, "Wow, that's damning it with some faint praise there." At least she didn't say bless the author's heart. As a Southerner, that would have been like the worst sign. But it was a John Grisham mystery, I think. So we'll see if she likes it any better by the end. But yeah, so, and then I was tickled by the phrasing that Sacha Black has in The Anatomy of Prose. So here's just one of the lines. "As authors, we know our book worlds intimately. I mean, we did birth these demonic torture puppies from our word loins." I'm like, alrighty then. It's just kind of fun. So CB says, "I'm reading a fanfic." Excellent. Fun times. And Megan says, "I took a shower and got some food. Also gave the dogs their glucosamine, which they love to take for some reason." And Petra says, two mood boards. I tried to say moored boods, but no. Mood boards down halfway through this last one. Excellent. Hooray. Progress is good. Diana got a nice 263 words. Excellent. Woohoo. More progress. Yeah, I feel like some of these, the points that Sacha Black is making, I have already been aware of, but some of them are new, and some of them I prefer her examples over the ones that are sort of like standardly given for other things. So again, like as I'm continuing to read this and get more into it, the more I can say that I would definitely recommend this. So, and writer Sam Wicker says, "Edited a video and you are now exporting it. Hooray!" I think this is the AuthorTube chronic illness and disability tag video, if what I'm thinking is correct, but I'm not quite sure. Charlie says, "So I had it pointed out to me that the Kindle Vella site was updated to still ban book collections of stories, but not to have the serial available for sale elsewhere." Okay. So if you have previously published something under like a short story as a book in itself, you cannot then put them together in like an anthology, not anthology. Anthology is by multiple works. Omnibus. Collection. I think collection is by one author. Anthology is by multiple authors. So you can't put them together in a collection, which is what you said in your comment. And but if you are posting the serial chapters through Vella, it does not ban you from posting them as a collection somewhere else for sale. So somewhere not on Amazon. Is that correct? So you can post the serial behind other paywalls, but you cannot sell a collected edition. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, that makes more sense the way you phrased it. Yeah. So you can sell the chapters individually on Kindle, but you cannot then put it together as a collection and also sell it on Amazon. If you have a story in this format that is available elsewhere, you can also publish it with Kindle Vella. To ensure a good customer experience, Kindle Vella does not accept content that is freely available. Okay, so you cannot offer them for free, but you can offer them behind other paywalls. So you are thinking of having them on Patreon, because technically paywall, for your patrons to read on your blog. That means you could make them available now. Interesting. Hey, Eve says, I got distracted. You might need to cut out for a coffee break. The brain is slowly leaking out of your ears. Oh, no. Hopefully coffee will help that then. They can still live behind paywalls. Great for erotica. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Okay. I think... Does this also mean that you can sell them as the serial, so behind the paywall for Kindle Vella, and then you could self-publish the collection through Lulu, and could you do that? I think so. And sell them yourself? I don't know. There's lots of questions. Lots of questions. All right, it is 2:51. Let's do a short 10-minute sprint. That'll take us to just past the hour mark, but that's okay. It's okay. You need to do... There we go. Share. Okay, so Charlie says, no, you cannot sell them in book form. Okay. Period. Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's do one cool down sprint, 10 minutes. Maybe I'll be able to get to the end of this chapter, and then I can work on some of the exercises after the stream. So, all right, so 10 minutes. Save your document. Make sure you take a sip of whatever you are hydrating with. Straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for a posture check. And make sure that if you need a break, take a break. All right, so 10 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty. That was the end of our cooldown sprint. I think I'm close to the end of this section anyway. I think I still have a little bit more to go for the, yeah, I guess I'm only like halfway through this chapter. So I'm almost to the end of this section, however, so progress. Sorry, y'all. This Sasha Black for the Anatomy of Prose has some really intriguing examples, and at the same time, there are some things that she does and I'm like, well, but didn't you just say, like just occasionally, not most of what I have been reading has been really good, but she's got an example in here about repetition. And so she uses an example from one of her books, and she eliminates some of the repetition, but not all. And so I'm turning over in my brain the section that she kept the repetition in and wondering if when she keeps the repetition in, does she feel like it's stronger because of it? And so, yeah, now I'm just like in my analytical brain going, and finding different ways to phrase the sentence without the repetition, which is part of her whole point, is you take the sentence structure, you play with it, you eliminate what it is that you don't really need, but you do so in a style that fits what you want. And so if it were me writing this same sentence and I was purposefully getting rid of the repetition in a section, I would have removed the remaining bit of repetition that she kept, because to me, you could phrase it in a way that eliminated the repetition but didn't lose the impact, but she chose to keep it in. So I don't know. But it's just like playing with that is in your brain and on paper too, or in digitally, is the whole point of what she's doing. Is like, you have to play with it. You have to actually like think about these things. So fun times. It's good. It's exercising my brain. So okay, so Charlie was giving us some more information about the Catalleya terms and conditions. If you want to sell your collected short work bits into a long form content like a book, you have to unpublish all episodes of that story from Catalleya. So Megan says, I looked for jobs, no luck today. It's rough. Finding a job is a full-time job. So Diana says 142 words. Excellent. Good. Heather came in to hit the like button. You will watch the replay. Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Kai says, thanks for the stream. Feeling motivated still to go on to continue editing. Hooray! And Sam started editing another video while the other one uploads. Wish you luck, Megan. You will find one. Yes. And also thanks for the stream. You're welcome. CB says, I barely wrote a thing. You finished dinner finally, and you're going to go and see if you can salvage your bath. Hopefully you can. Okay. And since some of us are still feeling motivated and wanting to continue to work, here is Devin's playlist so that we can catch some more streams this afternoon, evening. and get some more work done. So I'm going to continue reading and doing some of these exercises and playing with these examples. It's quite fun. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, I will be back on Friday the 18th, and same time, 1 to 3 p.m., and then Sunday 2 to 5. So I will be around, and I will be in the comments, and see you soon. Don't forget to save.